right after it was confirmed that the Packers could have traded Aaron to the Niners and didn't. I think really that might be how this whole thing started. To be quite honest with you. Alright. So now I'm going to tell you how I think the Packers will finish, how I think every week's going to play out for the Packers. So week 1 against the Saints. I say they win that one. Start off the year 1-0. The Saints are having a rough time right now. Michael Thomas is probably going to miss. He's probably not going to be there. They're in cap hell. They don't know their quarterback. I think it's just going to be a mess week 1. And the Packers get an easy win. Week 2 against the Lions, I don't even have to explain that. Easy win, 2-0. Week 3 against the Niners, I'm going to give them a loss. Because the Niners, early in the year, I imagine are going to have Jimmy G. And everyone's going to be healthy there. I just don't know if the Packers can beat a healthy 49ers team in San Francisco. Week 4, I'm going to say they beat the Steelers. I just think they're better than the Steelers. Just a better roster, honestly. Bengals, it's a win for the Packers against the Bengals. I just think they're a better team. Against the Bears in week 6, I'm going to say they lose that game. Because, in my experience, the Bears have always been on fire at the beginning, and then they kind of lost it a bit at the end. So at the beginning, they beat the Packers. But at the end, I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. They lose. Week 7 against Washington, I'm actually going to say the Packers lose that. It's kind of an upset, but I think they lose to the Washington football team. Because their whole line, they did lose a Pro Bowl center. And we don't know who their next center is going to be. And that defensive front on the Washington football team is insane. Week 8 against the Cardinals, I'm going to say that's a win. Prime time. It's another one of those situations where I just think the Packers are a better coached team, definitely. I think Matt LaFleur is a lot better than Cliff Kingsbury. And I think that's just an easy win for them. Week 9 against the Chiefs, I'm going to say the Packers lose against the Chiefs, obviously. Week 10 against the Seahawks, I'm going to say they win that one. Because I've seen the Packers lose to an evenly matched team and then beat one a couple weeks later. So they lose to the Washington football team and then beat the Seahawks. Week 11 against the Vikings, Packers win that one. Better constructed team than the Vikings. I do think they're going to be a better team next year, the Vikings, but still not better than the Packers. Week 12 against the Rams, I don't know if I have to do much explaining. I'm going to say they lose to the Rams, my bad. Rams, even without Cam Akers, I just don't know if the Packers, I think last year in the playoffs, a lot of it was due to Jared Goff not being able to produce offensively rather than the Packers defense playing well. All right, week 13, I'm going to say they beat the Bears. I think the Bears start to kind of fall off a bit, but they're going to still make the playoffs, in my opinion. And now it's a devastating next 2 weeks. They play the Ravens. I'm going to say they lose to the Ravens because they're in Baltimore. And it's going to be hard to beat that team in Baltimore, especially in week 14 when they're trying to beat out the Browns in the division. Week 15 against the Browns, I think they bounce back, actually, and win that one. Week 16, normally the last 2 weeks against the Vikings and Lions are all wins for the Packers, so they end the year 11-6. Now, the part of the reason for this is the Packers' problem right now is that they got a lot of noise going around, so I have a little doubt in my mind. And they also tied with the Steelers, and this is a stat. the Packers and Steelers have the most playoff teams on their schedule for 2021. So the Packers have a tough schedule coming up, and a lot of noise. All right. So Zach Wilson and the New York Jets agreed to terms, and Wilson is attending minicamp, but I don't know if I would really get I don't know if I really jump up and down yet about this, but you know, I just don't really believe in him. And you know, he wasn't really. I don't know if he's really ready for. Like, if he's good in his first couple weeks, New York's going to be really looking at him, and that is a lot of pressure. I just don't know if he's able to handle that as a rookie right now. Right, I'm really unsure of what to think of him right now. I'm really on the fence. I don't know, but they agreed to terms, and he's at minicamp. Not minicamp, what am I saying? Training camp. Alright. Let's get some music going real quick. Just a quick music segment, then I should be on to my last couple topics of the day. Or of yesterday, and then we're gonna head on to what I would have done today. By the way, did I mention this before the podcast? I don't know. I'm going to be away next week, and probably the week after that too. So, this is the last Daily Dose Dylan podcast until, let me look on my calendar real quick. I can't even do that math. Hold on. Yeah, until, August, August 16th, I think, is the next one. Anyway, let's talk sports right now. So the Sixers are still pursuing Simmons' trade, but the asking price is really steep. Now, I think he's indifferent to getting better. That's the problem right now. I don't know any other way to explain why he's not getting better. I just think he's indifferent to, training for these kind of stuff, you know? I think he's... I hope... I think he has to be on a specific team. I think that's his problem. I think Golden State works, and, Portland's interesting, you know. The problem is, what are they going to give up in order to make it a fair trade? But, I think he's got a lot of value. Great defender. Great facilitator. Problem is, he can't shoot a three for his life. So, I don't know. He just has to be on a specific team that doesn't need shooting. So, Warriors, Portland are all good for that. Alright, so Davante Adams says that he has earned the right to be the highest paid player in the league. Paid receiver in the league. Now, he definitely should be paid. I don't know about highest paid receiver, but he has earned the right to get an extension. He's been Aaron's number one target ever since Jordy Nelson left. He was Brett Hundley's number one target the 1 year he was in the league. So he's been a number one target for 4 years now. He's definitely good at it. And I would definitely give him an extension. Alright. So Sean Payton said that the Michael Thomas surgery should have happened earlier. It was kind of calling out Michael Thomas there, but I'm really concerned about the Saints right now. I really am. Other than the Packers, they're the only other team I can really think of right now that I'm interested in. They don't know. Like I said, this is why I think the Packers are going to beat them. They don't know who their quarterback is yet. And they're throwing shots at each other. I just think the Packers and they're in cap hell. They're just in a tough spot right now. So I am having a real tough time trusting them. Alright, and finally, Damian Lillard responded to the trade speculation by saying it is getting out of hand. Now, I really don't know what his plan is. I really don't. I don't know if he's staying and trying to, like... I really don't know what he's doing. I'm like lost on what Lillard's gonna do, because there has been reports coming out from reporters saying he wants out. But then, like, he's coming out and saying, bro, this is BS. And I'm like, alright, so what is this then? So what do you think in it? 'Cause I'm, like, really confused right now. I mean, if I were him, I'd want out. I mean, it's been years of mediocrity, so... And maybe a 2 to 3 year window of actually having a shot and not getting it. I don't know, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm gonna circle back to, the Michael Thomas surgery. Saying it should have happened earlier. This team is probably 8-9, 9-8. And I know I've talked up Jameis Winston, but dude, I feel like it's an obvious call. It's him or Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is yes, incredibly athletic, but dude, this guy is not an NFL quarterback that you start for 17 games. I mean, you can start Jameis Winston for that long, but not him. Just makes more sense to me, but I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing. So, I mean, this to me is an 8-9, 9-8 team. I'm like, they have one of the best all-around rosters in the league. But without Drew Brees, it's been a mess so far. It just goes to show you how much a quarterback means to a team. Alright, so back to Rodgers saying that the media loves to make stories. Now, I'm just saying, this, again, alright, so there's two things I disagree with in his presser. I don't know why you're doing that. Those are the only two things he did wrong. Saying that and saying the players being disrespected in Green Bay. Those are the two things he did wrong. That's it, though. He was great in the other ones, but it's just again, Aaron, I don't know why he's calling out the media for making up stories when he goes on the next segment to actually talk about that he did consider retiring, and he was offered another job. I don't know. Those are the two things that I don't like. Alright, let's get a music segment and then head into what today's short podcast would have been. But back to the... I'm gonna go away for 2 weeks, so I'm not gonna be here. Other than that, I am... Don't worry, I'm not gonna I'd say the next time, like the summer is going to be the